Okay, so we're diving into how to fall in love.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear that title, you might think like roses and chocolates and all those romantic cliches, right?
Right, definitely.
But what if I told you this deep dive starts not with a romantic encounter, but like in a deserted, kind of spooky housing development in Dublin,
Oh, wow.
late at night, freezing cold.
Okay, that's not what I was picturing.
Yeah, see, right from the start, it's a bit jarring, right?
Totally.
And that tells you this isn't your typical love story.
No kidding.
So think of this deep dive as like a treasure hunt through this collection of writings. We're going to uncover all these unexpected twists and turns along the way, looking at love, loss, the whole mental health thing and how people change over time. The author, she really gets personal, sharing stories and thoughts from her own life. And that scene I mentioned, that's where she meets this guy, Simon Conway.
Okay.
And he's one of like 50 families who had to evacuate their homes because of like huge fire safety issues.
Oh, it's awful.
It is. So he's
Mhm.
dealing with paying a mortgage on a place he can't even live in, and he just lost his job.
Wow, talk about a double whammy.
Right. It makes you think about how like all these external crises can really mess with your head,
Totally, it's like a ripple effect, right?
Exactly. And there's this Detective McGuire, who shows up, and even his brief interaction with Simon hints that things could get even worse.
Intriguing.
But here's the really interesting part. This whole encounter in the dark, it becomes this turning point for the author herself.
Oh, so.
It's like this wake-up call for her. She realizes she doesn't want to keep pretending in her own marriage. She wants something real, something authentic, and it eventually leads her to leave her husband.
So Simon's crisis kind of triggers her own personal crisis.
In a way, yeah. It's like she sees his struggles, and it makes her look at her own life,
I get that. It's like looking in a mirror. Sometimes you need that outside perspective to see things clearly.
Exactly. Now, our author isn't just roaming around Dublin for fun. She actually works with people, like in a helping profession, it seems.
Okay.
We see this through her interactions with a client named Oscar, who's totally terrified of public transport.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty severe. And it turns out our author relies a lot on those how-to books for guidance, both in her work and in her personal life.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
We all want those easy answers, especially when things get tough.
Definitely. But speaking of those how-to books, there's this hilarious episode with her colleague Gemma and a How to Fire Someone book.
Uh-oh, this sounds like trouble.
Let's just say it doesn't go as planned. Gemma gets fired, and the office is like total chaos.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a bit of a disaster. Then Detective McGuire pops up again with this intriguing bit of info. He says there are no funeral details for someone the author was asking about.
Huh. That's weird.
Right, it's like this little mystery, and we don't know what it means yet.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Me too. After that encounter with Simon, the author starts visiting places from her past, like places that hold good memories for her.
Interesting. Why do you think she does that?
I think she's searching for something positive, something familiar in the midst of all this upheaval. She even has this incredibly awkward reunion with a childhood friend.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Right. It's like a reminder that time changes things and people don't always stay the same. Anyway, after all that, our author ends up on the Halfpenny Bridge late one night, which triggers this vivid memory of her Erasmus year in Spain. She was really homesick then, and a postcard of that bridge, it became like this symbol of home for her,
A reminder of better times.
Yeah, exactly. But on this particular night, she sees this guy, Adam, who looks like he's about to jump off the bridge.
Oh, no.
She doesn't hesitate. She grabs him and pulls him back.
Wow. That's incredible.
Right. She's like this fearless superhero. And Adam's first words to her are, "Waking up is the worst part of my day. Has been for a long time."
Oof, that's heavy.
It is. And the author, she just promises him that things can get better, that she'll help him.
What a powerful thing to say in that moment.
I know, right? And then things get even crazier. As Adam's trying to climb back over the railing, he slips, and the author has to save him again.
Seriously.
Seriously. She's literally holding on to him as he's dangling there. Talk about intense. So they end up talking, and we learn Adam has this super dark sense of humor.
I can see how that might be a coping mechanism.
For sure. He also reveals why he's in Dublin in the first place. He came to propose to his girlfriend, Maria, only to find out she's cheating on him with his best friend, Sean.
Oh my gosh, that's brutal.
I know. Talk about betrayal.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, they find Adam's suicide note.
Wow, so he was really serious about ending it all.
Yeah, it was a close call. It's interesting, though, because after all this, the author can't sleep a wink, but Adam seems to pass out no problem.
Huh. That is strange.
Right. You'd think it would be the other way around. Adam doesn't really want to talk about what led him to this point, just mumbles something about years and years of family shit.
Sounds like there's a lot of baggage there.
Definitely. So they end up spending the night in the same hotel suite, just because the author doesn't feel safe leaving him alone.
I can understand that.
Right. Anyway, at one point she sees him in the shower, and later she hears him sobbing in the bathroom.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
I know. They have this brief conversation where Adam mentions boarding school and how he met Sean there, the friend who betrayed him.
So the betrayal goes way back.
Yeah, it seems like a pattern in his life. Then he drops this bombshell. He's supposed to take over his family's company, Basil's, at his 35th birthday party, which is only 12 days away.
Okay.
But he doesn't want to do it at all, and he's still clinging to this hope that Maria will be there by his side.
He's got a lot on his plate, that's for sure.
Tell me about it. And to make things even more complicated, the author's friend, Amelia, is super upset, and it seems like Adam's somehow involved.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, he might have interfered in her relationship with her boyfriend, Fred.
That's not good.
No, it's not. So the author confronts Adam, but he's still stuck in this super negative mindset.
Makes sense. I mean, he's going through a lot.
Yeah, but the author, she's all about positive thinking and the laws of attraction.
And Adam's not buying it.
Nope, not one bit. We then meet the author's family, her dad and her sisters, Brenda and Adrian. They're having this hilarious conversation about someone's past relationships.
Typical family banter.
Totally. They're supportive of the author saving Adam, of course, but they do it in their own teasing way.
Sounds like my family.
Meanwhile, back at work, the author's still dealing with the fallout from firing Gemma, and her colleagues Peter and Paul are still being jerks.
Ugh. Work drama on top of everything else.
I know, it's exhausting. There's this funny scene where her dad jokes about changing her locks after her breakup.
Sounds like something my dad would say.
It's a reminder that even with all this drama, life goes on. We also learn that the author wants to write a book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's her dream. So she starts having these informal sessions with Adam, trying to help him process his feelings.
Like impromptu therapy.
Exactly. She tells him suicidal is not a feeling, it's a thought, and he needs to figure out the emotions behind it.
It's a good point.
Right. Adam's first response is that he's pissed off, which is understandable.
Totally.
They have lunch together, and the author tries to get him to eat, but he's not really interested in food.
I wouldn't be either.
During the meal, the author shares that her own marriage only lasted 9 months, even though she tried really hard to make it work.
Wow, that's vulnerable of her.
It is. It creates this connection between them, like they've both been through heartbreak.
Yeah, I see that.
But then things get awkward again. Adam overhears a voicemail from Amelia, who's really upset about her breakup with Fred.
Oh, boy.
The author rushes off to be with her friend, leaving Adam alone in her apartment.
With her key.
Yeah, with her key. While she's gone, Adam finds his own crisis plan, and he completely loses it.
Not surprising, considering everything.
He feels like it's all failed him, and he just explodes with anger about all the crap that's happened that day.
That's a lot to handle.
The author comes back and tries to calm him down, but it's not easy.
It's good she doesn't give up on him.
She's determined to help him, even when he's being difficult. Now get this. Adam asks her to get a lily pad from a freezing pond in a park.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a really strange request, but the author actually does it.
Seriously. She must be freezing.
She is totally soaked. But Adam helps her out of the pond and tries to warm her up.
Okay, maybe there's a glimmer of hope there.
Maybe. They then drive to Howth to watch the sunrise, an idea from one of those How to Enjoy Life books.
That was nice, actually.
It is, but Adam's still pretty down. He's not into the scone they get, and he can't stop thinking about Maria.
Still hung up on her.
Yeah. We learned that when he first met Maria, he dressed up as Where's Wally to surprise her.
That's adorable.
It is, right? It shows there's this playful, fun side to him somewhere under all the sadness. Later, Adam listens to voicemails from the author's ex-husband, Barry.
Okay.
He finds them funny at first, but then one message really gets to him, and his mood changes completely.
Interesting. I wonder what it said.
Me too. The author, in another attempt to distract Adam, takes him and her niece, Alicia, on this random drive just to get lost.
Sounds like an adventure.
Kind of, yeah. She also has a quick call with Oscar, her client, who's afraid of public transport, and it seems like he's not doing so well.
Poor guy.
Then, out of the blue, Maria shows up at the author's workplace.
Oh, well.
She sees the lily pad, the one the author risked her life for, and she's completely overjoyed. It has this special meaning for her and Adam from their past. There's some awkwardness, though, because Maria misunderstands the situation and thinks the author is much older than she is.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a bit cringy. But then Maria finds these homemade chocolate lips that Adam used to make for her, and she's really touched.
That's sweet.
She tells the author that Adam's lucky to have her as a friend, thinking she's just taking care of him.
Ooh, I bet that stings a little.
Yeah, the author's starting to have feelings for Adam, and that comment doesn't help.
Totally. So does she tell Adam about Maria's reaction to the chocolates?
She does, and she also casually mentions that Adam is the one who created Basil's chocolate.
Smooth move.
Right. Later, they take a ride in Adam's fancy Rolls Royce, and there's this playful banter about rose petals and chocolate.
Sounds kind of romantic.
It is, a little bit. The next day, the author goes to Amelia's mother's funeral, which brings up all sorts of emotions for her, especially about her own failed marriage.
Funerals can do that.
They really can. At the funeral, they meet Adam's dad, Mr. Basil, who's this blunt, opinionated guy.
Sounds like a handful.
He is. He actually likes Maria, even though he's not a fan of her red lips business.
Interesting. What is red lips?
We don't know the details yet, but it's clearly something Maria's passionate about. Anyway, there's this tension between Adam and his cousin Nigel. Probably about the family business.
Family drama.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then the author gets a call from Detective McGuire. Her car's been vandalized.
Oh, no.
She decides not to press charges, though. Adam offers to pay for the damage, but she refuses, saying she's helping him because she cares about him, not for money.
Good for her.
Adam's still obsessed with Maria and tries to find out where she'll be for her birthday.
He's really determined.
He even admits to listening to Sean's voicemail to get the info. The author and Adam decide to go to this How to Fall in Love class, just out of curiosity, I guess.
Ironic, considering their situation.
Totally. They learn about the initial stages of falling in love and the importance of shared experiences.
Makes you wonder if they're subconsciously applying it to themselves.
Right. The next class is about secrets and involves a never have I ever game. They also have this cute moment where they're laughing while making batter together. But then the author sees Maria at her birthday lunch with another guy, and she feels like a total imposter.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah, she's realizing she might be falling for Adam, but he's still focused on Maria. To help Amelia, they go through her deceased parents' memory room, which is full of old shoeboxes.
That's kind of sad.
It is, a little bit. While they're looking through a box, the author and Adam accidentally bump heads, and there's this spark between them. Ooh, llama. But then they find a note revealing that Amelia was adopted.
Whoa, what a twist.
The author goes home and finds Adam doing a jigsaw puzzle.
Sounds peaceful.
It is, for a moment. But then they have this big conversation where Adam realizes he might be projecting his feelings onto the author.
That's a major realization.
It is. The author decides she needs to create some space and focus on helping Adam get his life together so she can eventually move on.
That's probably wise.
Yeah, she's trying to protect herself. They decide to go to Tipperary to deal with his company and hopefully his relationship with Maria.
Okay.
As they're leaving, Adam's dressed up as Where's Wally again, and guess who sees him? Maria. It's like this absurd comedic moment. Once they're in Tipperary, Adam's surprisingly happy. He thinks he's won Maria back, even though it's not really clear if that's true.
Wishful thinking, maybe.
Probably. The author's family teases her about Adam, but she insists she's just helping him get back with his girlfriend.
Still in denial.
Totally. Her dad gives her this weird advice to go find that sex addict, referring to her client, Leo Arnold.
That's out there.
Right. But she actually goes to see him, and he gives her some surprisingly good advice. He tells her to listen to Adam and let him figure things out for himself, to just be there for him.
That's good advice.
It is. The author and Adam help Amelia go see a private investigator, Bobby, to search for her biological parents.
Wow, they're really committed to helping her.
They are. There's this scary moment where Adam almost loses it during a traffic jam, reminding the author that he's still fragile.
It's good she's there to keep him grounded.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
The private investigator, Bobby, is acting a bit shady, and he mentions getting a call from the author's ex-husband, Barry.
Oh, what's that about?
We don't know yet, but it's not good. The author goes to visit Simon Conway at the hospital and finds out he's died.
Oh no, that's terrible.
It is. She's worried about what will happen to Adam, and she's scared she might get in trouble for their involvement in that whole housing development thing.
Things are getting complicated.
Then they get the news that Adam's dad has also died.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
I know. It's like one tragedy after another. They decide to stay in Tipperary for the funeral. Amelia is really struggling with the adoption revelation. She's clinging to a pair of earrings that belong to her adoptive mother.
A tangible connection to her past.
Exactly. There's this tender moment where the author sees Adam sleeping and wants to touch him, but they're interrupted. They're staying at Maureen's estate, which is beautiful, but kind of isolated.
I can see how that could be both good and bad.
Right. The author gets frustrated because Adam doesn't seem to be facing his problems head on.
Denial is a powerful thing.
It is. They play Never Have I Ever Again, and we learn that Adam has this weird habit of rhyming complex words.
That's cute.
It is. The author admits she's never been in love.
Oh,
It's a big revelation for her. Mr. Bessel's funeral is in terry glass, and the community has mixed feelings about him.
I can imagine.
When the will is read, everyone's shocked. Adam inherits the entire company.
What?
Yeah, it was unexpected. His sister, Lavinia, is furious. She accuses him of manipulating their dad, and we find out she's got her own legal problems and tried to merge Basil's with another company.
This is getting juicy.
It is. But Adam seems to have found a new sense of purpose, and the author is there to support him. They have this charged moment where they say everything is possible, but then they both kind of backtrack.
There's definitely something unspoken between them.
Definitely. They go back to Dublin, and Adam books a hotel room. The author insists on staying with him until his birthday party.
She can't seem to let go completely.
She calls Amelia, who sounds like she's doing better.
That's good to hear.
It is. Then, bam! Adam walks into the author's hotel room, and they have their first intimate encounter. The author wakes up the next morning and freaks out a little. She leaves a note for Adam and goes to visit Simon Conway's room at the hospital, apologizing for anything insensitive she might have said.
That's thoughtful of her.
She goes back to the hotel and admits to herself that she has feelings for Adam, but she's scared.
Of course.
Adam's relieved she came back, and he wants her at his birthday party.
He clearly cares about her.
Ah, of course. Yeah, but it's complicated. The author goes back to her flat and totally breaks down, overwhelmed by everything.
Poor thing.
Then, get this, her ex-husband, Barry, shows up at her door.
Oh, no.
He apologizes for all the nasty voicemails, including the one where he said she'd end up killing herself like her mother.
It's awful.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
especially triggering for the author because her mom did commit suicide when she was young.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
Barry leaves, and then Detective McGuire calls. He sounds frantic, and he begs the author to come to Crumlin Hospital, which is a children's hospital.
That doesn't sound good.
It's not. When she gets there, McGuire is a mess, and he introduces her to this young girl, Caroline, who tried to kill herself because of cyberbullying.
That's so sad.
It is. The author talks to Caroline and her parents, trying to offer some comfort.
She's a good person, that's for sure.
And while she's at the hospital, she hears that Simon Conway has died.
Another loss.
Yeah. It's a lot for her to handle. She goes to Adam's birthday party at City Hall, and her dad's there, being supportive in his own way.
Always there for her.
During the speeches, the author has a panic attack and hides in the bathroom.
All catching up with her.
Totally. Finally, she and Adam have this big emotional conversation where he confesses that he doesn't love Maria anymore.
He doesn't.
Nope. He says his feelings for the author are the reason he wants to live now, and he tells her he's in love with her.
Wow, what a twist.
I know, right? So this deep dive started out about suicide prevention and second chances, but it turned into something completely different.
Yeah, a testament to the unpredictable nature of life, I guess.
Totally. It makes you think about all the unexpected connections we make and how helping others can sometimes lead to unexpected self-discovery.
And love.
And love. So there you have it, a deep dive that was surprising, moving, and ultimately very hopeful.
Until next time.
Until next time.